Welcome to a review of two-digit subtraction. We're actually going to work on three-digit subtraction today, but I just wanted to review this visual with you. Remember, every time that you are looking at a subtraction problem, when you're working on the ones place value and the tens, you need to look at each number and say, do you have more on the top? Then there's no need to stop. You do not need to regroup or to borrow. But if there's more on the floor or if there's more on the bottom, then you need to go next door and borrow 10 more. Or if the numbers are the same, then zero's your game. Because when you do 5 minus 5 or 4 minus 4 or 7 minus 7, then the answer is always 0. Let me show you just a couple sample problems today because you're going to up your game this week and you're going to be subtracting 3 digits by 3 digits and you're going to need to borrow or regroup more than one time. So let me switch out screens here and let me show you what your assignment looks like. So this is your mixed practice. You can always make it bigger by going to View and Present, and it will look like it will look like this. But when you're in this view, you're not going to be able to type or use any of these slash marks over here. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, but I am going to increase the size just a little bit. Here we go. All right, so you've got your poem, your little reminder sayings here, and we're going to do these two sample problems together. The more you put into participating now, the easier it will be for you and the more you will understand and remember. So starting over here, always on the right-hand side, I've got 2, take away 4. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about that saying, do I have more on the top or more on the floor? I've got more on the floor. So I'm going to X that out. You're always welcome to do these problems on paper pencil, but to be able to turn these into your teacher, you're going to need to show your work right here. So I've crossed this out. I'm also going to go next door and borrow 10 more. So I take 1. I'm going to take 1 away from that 1, which leaves that at 0. I borrowed 10. 10 plus the 2 I had. 10, 11, 12 makes this 12 right here. Now I've got 12 and I can take away 4. You can always count backwards from 12 and go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I tend to like to start counting at 4 and count up to 12. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was using my fingers. Either way, you're going to get to 8. So I'm going to type that in there. Now I'm going to move on to my tens place value. Remember, I took 1 away here, I borrowed or I regrouped. So now I've got 0, take away 4. Thinking about our sayings again. Do I have more on the top or more on the floor? I've got more on the floor, so I'm going to have to go next door again. So I'm going to mark that. I've already got this crossed off, so I'm going to borrow 1 here. So instead of 4, I've got 3. See, I borrowed 10 more, so 10 plus the nothing I had gives me 10. 4, putting that in my head and counting up to 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gives me 6. And then here, oh look, 3 minus 3, numbers the same. 0's the game. You do not have to type that in. So on to the next problem. I've got 8, again, starting at the right. Remember, that's why I'm starting here. 8, take away 9. More on the top or more on the floor? Got more on the floor again. So I'm going to drag those over. I'm going to cross out both of these. Okay, so I borrowed 1 from here. I had 1. I took 1 away. Now I've got 0 here again. Borrowed 10 more. 10 plus the 8 I had gives me 18. So now I've got 18 minus 9. 9, put that in my head and count up. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I was using my fingers to keep track. Gives me 9. Move on to the next place value. I've got 0, take away 4. More on the top or more on the floor? Once again, I've got more on the floor. So I'm going to go next door and borrow 10 more. That's 6. I take 1 away. It becomes 5. 10 plus a nothing I had there becomes 10. Look, this is the same fact as over here. So 10 minus 4 is 6. Then we're going to go over to our hundreds place value. More on top or more on the floor? I've got more on top, so no need to stop. Starting at 4, counting up to 5, 4, 5, and the answer is 1. So you will have some additional problems to work on your own. Just continue to think through that poem every single time when you're working these problems. And my hint to you is that there's going to be at least one regrouping for every single problem you do today. Don't forget to reach out to your teacher if you get stuck and you need some assistance. Work hard and good luck.